Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, what you're looking at, of course, is a Marx pre-war motor. As you notice, spoke wheels, and the problem with this motor, it's been sitting for months, was the armature gear was completely worn out. So I pulled this thing apart, and I put a new Grossman's nylon intermediate gear on it, and I swapped out the armature for a armature that is actually out of one of the diesel locomotives. And as you see, it is sticking out much farther than it's supposed to be. And the problem with that is, or the problem with this armature, is that it is so far below the brush plate that the brushes wouldn't reach it. So I have a brush and a half mounted on the power side, standard brush on the ground side, surprisingly enough. Anyway, getting ready for its first test. I've never tried doing this before. So let me turn the power on. Power is on. Let's see what happens. Well, as you see, it works. Anyway, that is not the armature for that motor, but as you see, it is running. So it was just an expedient. Basically, it was an experiment. I wanted to see if it was going to work, and it did, surprisingly enough. So like I said, you can see the armature is sticking out much too far on this side, but it's riding on the gear with no problem. The problem is, of course, is that it's way below flush on this side. You can see how far down that armature is. So I just put a brush and a half to reach the armature, and of course it's up and running. Anyway, this first test, I've never tried doing this before. I just wanted to see if it would work, and it seems to work just absolutely perfectly. As you see, it's actually really running well, considering it's made completely out of junk parts. In this case, the wrong parts. This is a completely wrong armature for that motor. And like I said, the original armature was just worn down to the point where it was nothing but, looked almost like a star. Just a little sharp point sticking out. It wouldn't mesh with the gears anymore. And it tore the intermediate gear to pieces. And that's what happens when this gear wears. And there's no practical way to remove this gear and replace it. I suppose you could, but it's a lot easier to throw another armature in there. In this case, I didn't have the right one, so I just threw a armature in it. But as you see, it's actually running, and that is not the correct armature. But just lengthened that brush, and this old motor's up and running with no problem at all. So anyway, just an expedient. I wanted to do a quick experiment, so I figured I would do a video to document it. It definitely worked. This is running really well, as you see. That's an old motor. So in any case, just a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, benztrains@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.